Hi folks, so if this lockdown period is driving you up the wall as well, then this is going to be an ideal yoga session for you. We're going to do a group of yoga stretches where we use the arm for support. So first of all, find yourself a wall with plenty of space. And then we're going to do some gentle mobilization exercises first to warm up the body as well. And then we're going to get on with it. As with all of our yoga practice, but particularly at this time when you're practicing on your own, please go very slowly, breathe, and be really gentle with your body. Okay. All right, so just to start with, we'll find our way into mountain pose. Let's have our feet hip distance apart and parallel to each other. Pressing down into the balls of the feet and the heels of the feet. So if you lift your toes, you'll be able to feel that sensation of earthing and grounding through the soles of your feet a lot easier. So pressing down and then lowering your toes gently, softening the knees and bringing the pelvis into a neutral place. Lift up through the torso so that there's space in between the ribs, and then roll your shoulders back and down. Have your arms a little way away from your sides and think about a little bit of space underneath your armpits there. Let the back of your neck be long. And then begin to tune in. So it can feel really good at this time, particularly to be aware of the soles of the feet on the floor, making that connection with Mother Earth beneath. Start to tune into how you're feeling this morning, starting with the feet and ankles. Aware of the balance points in the body. Just starting to sway forwards and backwards just a little bit. And then a little bit rocking side to side. And then coming back to that central point. And then dipping your chin to your chest. Just begin to make semicircles with your chin. So bringing the chin to alternate shoulders nice and slowly. Easing away some of that tension in the back of the neck. And then making full rotations with your head, but going very, very slowly. And then going the other way. And coming back to center. Inhaling through the nose to shrug the shoulders all the way up to the ears. And exhale with a sigh. And again, inhale. And breathe out. One last time. And inhaling the hands to the sky. Exhaling to bring the hands behind the back. Link up your thumbs so that your thumbs are linked and your fingertips are spread out wide. And then press down towards the floor with your fingertips, lifting your hands a little way away from your lower back. Lifting your gaze if you wish, or if your back of your neck isn't very happy, just look forwards and then breathing here. So these deep breaths will help to create more capacity in the upper thoracic area, more space for your lungs to breathe. Particularly important for those of us who struggle with the pollen, and obviously at this time you want to be breathing nice and deeply, practicing those deep breaths. And then the next time you breathe out, folding forward. It may be that you want to leave your hands exactly where they are at your lower back, or if you know that your shoulders are okay, you might want to just lift your hands away from your back, let go of the weight of your head, and breathe here. Just finding your way into the edge of your comfort zone. And then on your next out breath, let go of your thumbs and bring the backs of your hands down onto the floor, either side of your feet. Again, just letting go of the weight of your head, releasing some of that compaction that builds up in the back of your neck and away down the spine, all the way to your tailbone. Feel the spine begin to lengthen here. And then bend your knees almost to 90 degrees if you can. Bring the weight into the front, the balls of your feet. Look up. And we're going to come into chair pose, sweeping your strong, straight arms forwards and upwards. Breathing here. Engaging the abdominal muscles. Making sure that your tailbone is very slightly tucked. Breathing deeply. Inhaling to lift and exhaling to lower. So let's just shake that out. And then we're just going to find a little bit of extra space so that you know that you're not going to clunk your hands on the wall next to you. And then just bring your feet a little wider than hip distance. Sink into your knees just a little bit and begin to rotate from your trunk. Let your arms be loose and floppy and keep breathing. Now as you breathe, notice the sensation in your chest. Increasing the momentum. Keep breathing. That's the whole point. And then just let that momentum begin to subside. Great. So at this point, I would recommend that you rewind your video and do those little warm-up exercises again. If it was me, that's what I'd do. Otherwise, we'll crack on. So, next of all, you're going to find your way to the wall, and you're going to have your feet, again, we're going to have our feet hip distance apart, and you're going to make sure that you're as close to the wall, that most of the back of your body, or as much of the back of your body, is touching the wall as is possible. You're going to make cactus arms, and we're going to breathe, okay? So, as we inhale, we're pressing the back of the body up against the wall, the back of the head and neck and shoulders, the backs of the arms. And then as we exhale, we just relax. Let's inhale, pressing the back of the body against the wall. And breathe out. And one last time, inhale. And breathe out. And then we'll move the feet a little way away from the wall, and we'll sit as if we're sitting on a chair with our backs straight up against the wall here. Have the backs of your hands, backs of your arms and your palms against the wall also. So then we're going to do some little pelvic tilts. Okay, so it's quite subtle. So you might not be able to completely see what's going on here, but you'll be able to experiment with it. And if you've been to some of my classes before, you'll kind of know what's going on here, but I'll try and describe it properly. Sitting down, into the wall. You're already starting to tone up your thighs. You're probably already starting to feel that. That's good. And then on the inhale, we're going to let the pelvis tilt. Now, you'll know you've done this right because your little Buddha belly will be sagging out here, and there'll be a space between the wall and your lower back. Then on the exhale, we're going to press the lower back up against the wall so there's no space between our back and the wall. So we inhale, tilt the pelvis forwards, and we exhale, pressing the lower back into the wall. Continuing here, moving with the breath. If you have issues with your lower back, this can feel very, very soothing and it's very therapeutic. Continue here to move with the breath. Let's do one more cycle of movement and breath with that. And then just shake out those legs. And then you're going to want to come sideways onto your wall. So I'm going to have the wall at arm's length. I'm going to have my feet hip distance apart. And then I'm going to step the outside foot in front of the inside foot. And then we're going to inhale and breathe out. Inhale and breathe out. You can push your hip away from the wall. Make sure that your shoulder is not leaning forward. Let's do one more on that side. And then we're going to turn around, which will mean I've got my back to you. I apologise in advance. So again, we've got the wall at feet at hip distance. The wall is at arm's length. And we take the outside foot and step it in front of the inside foot. Inhale and breathe out. Inhale, breathe out. One more cycle of movement and breath. And then again, we'll just shake that out. Okay, so the next posture, next stretch is really lovely for this area at the front of the shoulder and into the pec. Many of us have posture which is, how can I put this? Often our posture is a little bit slumped. Sometimes that's because we work at a desk, or because we drive, or because we text a lot on our phone. And what we want to be doing is going the opposite way. So creating more space in the chest and in the front of the shoulders. And any time that we're creating space in the chest, it means that we're able to breathe more deeply. Really important, especially at this time. So we're going to stand facing the wall. My wall's a little bit rough and knobbly, but if you're inside, this might be a little bit easier. Okay, and then we're going to have our hands like a crucifix here. And you're going to take your palm, one palm, and place it underneath your shoulder. The other hand is still outstretched. Okay, and then from here, all you do is press into the wall and keeping this other shoulder in contact with the wall, the whole of the other arm in contact with the wall. We're just pushing away from the wall and peeping over our shoulder. And we're breathing here. Keep breathing. do exactly the same on the other side. So you'll be able to see the other side of this stretch. So we're placing the palm against the wall, the other arm stays in contact with the wall, and then we're pushing away from the wall, bringing the shoulder away and peeping over our shoulder. Breathing here. And gently coming back to centre. Then we can bring our forearms onto the wall. So then our elbows are parallel to our, or in line with our shoulders, okay, clasping the hands. I'm just going to walk back. This is a dolphin posture that we can practice using the wall for support instead of it being an inversion. Walking away from the wall, feet hip distance apart. You might want to reposition your forearms, and then as if you're pushing your bum out behind you and easing your chest downwards towards where your skirting board probably is. Breathing here, making sure that you are lifting your pelvic floor and that there is tone in your abdominal muscle. And then just walking back towards the wall. Then placing your hands a little higher than your shoulders, and we'll come into downward facing dog, but at the wall. So walking back, feet at hip distance apart. Lifting our tummy button up towards the spine. Breathing in. Make sure there's a little softness in your knees so that you're not locking those knees out. And then when you're ready, just walking back towards the wall. So our next posture is a pyramid pose. All right. So again, we've got our feet hip distance apart. We're going to walk away from the wall, and then we're going to step back with one foot. Now, when you step back, you want to be stepping back as if you're on a tram track. Okay? So stepping back, sliding the foot back, and then turning the rear toes out to 45 degrees. But we want to keep our hip bones level to the wall. Okay, you don't want to be letting go of the hips. Hip bones are level to the wall. And using the wall for support, you can push your bum out behind you, keeping your back nice and straight, keeping your hips level. So if you've got your right foot in front, then you want to be thinking about drawing your left hip bone slightly forward and your right hip bone slightly back. And then we'll do that on the other side. So we're sliding the other foot back as if you're on tram tracks, turning the toes out 45 degrees. Make sure this rear ankle is not being allowed to sink inwards, to pronate. So pressing down into the outer edge of your rear foot really helps here. And then we're going to make sure those hips are level, and we're just going to fold forward from the hips. Breathe in here. So if you've got your left foot forward, you want to be thinking about slightly drawing your left hip bone back and your right hip bone forward, keeping your spine long and the back of your neck long too. Breathe in here. And then stepping forward, take a little shake. I'm big on shaking. So then we're going to come down to the floor and we're going to bring our bum next to our hip, next to the wall. And a little bit of traffic going on outside. You really want to make sure you're scrooched right up to the wall. And then from here, it's a lot easier just to get your legs up that wall. If you have problems with blood pressure, I don't want you to do this, okay? Any problems with blood pressure or heart problems, I don't want you to do this. Otherwise, let's crack on and enjoy. So we're having the palms facing upwards here. We're just going to flex the ankles and breathe in here. And then from here, we can have our hands behind our thighs and just gently lengthen those hamstrings. I've been doing a little bit too much jogging and walking. My hamstring's very tight at the moment, so I'm going to go super gentle. Breathe here. And then the same with the other leg. And then coming back to the wall. We have a stretch next that is not suitable for people who have had hip replacement surgery. For everybody else, go gently, work very, very gently into your edge. And be mindful. I'm going to take the legs apart. A friend of mine calls this Barbie legs. I'm not really sure why, but you'll know what that's about. Breathe in here, flexing those ankles. And just allowing that stretch in the inner thigh to be just right. You know that Goldilocks point in your stretch? Well, it's not too much and it's not too little, it's just right. And from here, maybe a little bit of cloud gazing. I'm looking up at a beautiful tree. Beautiful, breathe in here. Again, one of those stretches where you might pause your video and stay a little bit longer. We're going to slowly draw the legs together and we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, and then you'll be able to press your knees gently towards the wall. And then draw your knees back together. From here, take your arms out to either side. We're going to come into a supine twist. All you need to do is let your knees drop gently over to one side and then turn your head to look in the opposite direction. Softening and breathing into the twist. Bring the head back to centre. Walk your feet up the wall. And then we can do the same on the other side. Bringing the feet down to the other side. Turning your head to look over the opposite shoulder. And making sure that this shoulder is in contact with the floor. And breathe here. And again, walk your feet back up the wall. Now, you'll need to shift yourself a little bit away from the wall. Gamely, but there you go. Shift yourself a little bit away from the wall so that your hips form a right angle and your knees also form a right angle. And then from here, you can bring your, let's say we're bringing the right ankle onto the top of the left knee. We're flexing that ankle and then we're pressing the knee away from us. And we're breathing here. And then some of us might like to draw the knee towards us, thread your hand through the triangular shaped gap between the legs. Clasp your hands around your shin and gently draw your legs towards your body. And then let's do that the same on the other side. Ankle on top of knee, flex this ankle and then gently pushing this left knee away. While we're breathing here, I just wanted to let you know that this group of stretches is absolutely ideal for when you've taken your daily exercise. So if you're going for a little walk or a jog around the block from your own front door, these types of exercises are brilliant for stretching afterwards. And then maybe you'll thread your hand through the gap, catch a hold of the shin that's furthest away, or maybe the back of your knee if that's more available for you. And breathe in. And gently rolling over onto one side. Now, you guys, you can find your way into Shavasana just by laying straight down on the ground. You might want something for your head or perhaps something for underneath your knees. And I'm gonna use a blanket because it's a bit chilly outside even though the sun's out. Make sure you're nice and warm, particularly your feet. Finding a comfy place. And just finding your perfect, comfortable Shavasana posture. Palms facing up towards the sky, legs a little bit apart, arms a little bit away from the body. If you feel tight in your lower back, I recommend that you either put some cushions underneath your knees, or you can bend up your knees and place your feet wide and then just Let your knees rest together in the centre, and that can be very, very soothing for the lower back, very restorative posture. So let's just allow our eyes to close down if you feel you can, resting the tip of your tongue just behind your top front teeth. Beginning to pay attention to the sensation of your breath as it enters and leaves your nostrils. And then just noticing the back of your body and all the places where your skin is in contact with the earth underneath you. Starting with the back of your head, down into the shoulders and the upper back, the mid back, the lower back and the hips. Aware of your buttock muscles softening, more of the buttocks in contact with Mother Earth beneath. Relaxing down into the backs of the thighs and the calves. Noticing that your heels are in contact with the earth. Aware of all of the places where you are in contact with the ground. Feeling the support from Mother Earth beneath you. Allowing yourself to feel rooted and gently planted here. Just allowing the breath to come away without needing to manipulate or change it in any way. Simply present here with the grounding sensation of being in touch with the earth beneath. Present with the sounds that you can hear. Sounds that are near to you and those that are a little bit further away. Aware of the temperature of your body. Aware of the sensation of fabric against your skin or of the hard earth beneath. Perhaps aware of fragrance in the air, taste on your tongue. Completely inhabiting this present moment. We're not ruminating about the past. We're not projecting anxiously into the future. We're simply aware of what is right now. Aware of the breath in the body. of sensation. And then beginning to invite a deeper breath. Breathing all the way down into your belly. Perhaps placing your palms on your belly to notice how the body expands with that life-giving breath. Inviting that deeper breath. Feeling the expansion, the space in the body. And beginning to wriggle the fingers and the toes to make some small movements with the body. And bend up your knees. Roll gently over onto one side before pushing yourself to an upright position. Let's rub our hands together, create a little bit of heat in between the palms. Just tap, tap, tap on the scalp, stimulating the chi, the energy, lifting the body down into the face, around the jaw, and gently over the chest. Just rubbing the tummy clockwise. Inhaling the hands to the sky, scoop up some of that good positive energy that you've created for yourself and draw it down into your heart center. I wish for you to be contented, to be happy and healthy. And most of all, I wish for you to feel very much loved. Namaste. Thank you for practicing this session with me today.